Oh, guys, good morning. Now, this is something between the subject recording. So, we are recording for chapter number 6 of the organizational behavior, and the topic is 6 motivation. So, let's see what motivation is. 6.1 is introduction. Motivation is equal to identify needs of the employees and fulfill needs to inspire them to achieve certain goals and objectives. Motivation can be monetary and non monetary. Increase in motivation is equal to increase in productivity. Increased in productivity is equal to increased in competitive position of the firm. The examples are Google, Starbucks, Southwest Airlines, etc. Meaning of motivation. Motivation is a psychological process. The Latin word is mover, that is equal to move. Motivation is driving individuals to certain goals. Motivation consists of three interacting individual elements: need, drive, incentive. Now, when we say need, drive, and incentive, it have its own areas of understanding. When there is a psychological or a physical imbalance, then the need arises. The need is satisfied when one gets an incentive, यानी कि कुछ उसको additional मिलता है. So need have to be satisfied with an kind of an incentive. What is a drive? Drive is a thrust or an action to fulfill the needs. Drive is reduced when the achievement of incentive. What is incentive? Incentive is a result of a fruit of a drive. So whatever you drive, you get an incentive out of it. Incentive is the result of the drive. Incentives reduces drives and elevates needs. Now this is very important to understand that when we get something that we want, the needs are not normally satisfied, but they are increased. Small car to big car, small phone to a better version of phone. So incentives elevates needs and reduce the drives. You have that, then you get satisfied for a particular time. You do not drive. So need, drive, and incentive. So there are few definitions of motivation given here. So we are not going with everyone. We'll go with Dale S. Beach that says motivation can be defined as a willingness to expand energy to achieve goals and rewards. W.G. Scott, he says motivation means in a process of stimulating people action to accomplish the desired goals. Okay, Vance says that motivation implies an emotion or a desire which so condition one's will that an individual is properly led into action. So there are different definitions of motivation. Let's go to the characteristics of motivation. So internal feeling that helps. That's not interval. That is internal feeling that helps an individual to attain the certain goal, person or professional. Characteristics of motivation. Sources of motivation is different for different people. It's a psychological concept, comes with internal motivation that is more successful, external motivation that stays for a certain time of line. It is a complex phenomena as it is observable directly. It is different from satisfaction, inspiration, manipulation. It gives a positive influence the behavior of an individual, which helps an organization goal achievement. It strengthens the employee interest in work, reduce absenteeism, encourage employee to fulfill their unfulfilled goals and needs. It helps in achievement of individual goals, group goals, and organizational goals. So these are the characteristics of definition. Different motives or motivation. Okay, so when we say about different motives or motivation, there are three basic type of motives. One is primary motive, second is general motive, third is secondary motive. Motives is the cause of a certain kind of behavior, reason to do something. Motivation comes from motives. Motives regulate behavior. There are three major kinds of motives. One is primary motive, general motive, and secondary motive. Primary motive. Some motives are unlearned, that is not to be thought of. They are called as physiological, biological, unlearned motives. They are more tangible and they are onto the physiological level. For motives to be termed as primary, there have to be at least two criteria should be meeting it. First, it must be unlearned. These motives are inherent as a human being. Two, it must be physiological based. It originates from the biological system. Common motives are hunger, thirst, pain, sex. Now, when we say about the general motives are some motives that are placed between primary and secondary motive. These are not strictly primary, but meet one of the criteria of the primary and one of the secondary. These motives are partially learned. These motives are partially biological. General motive is equal to the stimulus motive. Common areas or common general motives are affection, curiosity, manipulations. Secondary motive. The most important motive among all three. It must be learned. It is not biological into the strict sense. Primary and general motives are given way for the secondary motive. Now, examples of secondary motive are power, achievement, affiliation, status, and security. Let's go to the 6.5. That's the motivational approaches. So there are basically four kinds of approaches when we talk about the motivational approaches. These are the different sources of motivation. Depends upon the source of motivation, it have a different approaches. Some are the most common. First is instinct approach. So instinct approach are the inborn approach. They are biological and predetermined. The most basic on the primary motives. They are unlearned and physiological. Hunger, sex are the instinct approaches. It explains the searching of the food and the partner for mating. This approach cannot always explain into the complex human behavior. Example, saving a friend from the burning car in a car accident where his own life is at risk. So when we talk about instinct approach, what we can say that from the different motives, it comes from the primary motive. So primary motives gives you instinct approach. Okay, so it is inborn, it is unlearned, it comes from the biological formats, it is a physiological level. Second is drive and reduction approach. Proposed by Clark Siegel, it established the relationship between the needs and fulfillments of needs. It says that every living organism have a certain drive or arousals that they respond to differently to satisfy that drive and arousals. It still fails to explain the complex human behavior. Now, drive and reduction approaches, when I have a need, I go ahead, I fulfill that need, and that particular need has been reduced. So this is a drive and reduction approach. The third approach is called incentive approach. So we just saw instinct approach, which is biological basic need, drive and reduction approach, incentive approach. What we are studying is motivational approaches. Incentive approach. Motivation originates in the process to achieve some kind of benefits for self. These benefits are external goals. Incentives can be tangible, that is money, gift, food, or intangible, that is status, love, and appreciation. It still fails to explain the human behavior. The value of incentive may differ from person to person. The value of incentive cannot be ascertained scientifically. So incentive approaches basically divided into what he is getting. Tangibly, money, gift, foods, etc. Intangibly, status, love, appreciations, positions, all these things. The fourth approach, that is cognitive approach. Now this is one of the most important approach into the motivation factor. Behavior is equal to individual expectation of behavior plus value attached to its consequences. So what is a behavior? Behavior is individual expectation of behavior plus value attached to the consequences. Most modern approach, widely accepted, focuses on individual thought, beliefs, perceptions, understanding the world, is basically a cognitive approach. So these are four major types of approach: instinct approach, drive and reduction approach, incentive approach, and cognitive approach. Let's go to the 6.6, that are theories of motivation. So motivation in organizational context means encouraging an individual to direct the action towards the attainment of the organizational objective. There are different types of theories of motivation. They are broadly classified in two major kinds. One, content theories. Two, process theories. So there are basically two theories. So content theories are the theories which are tackling with what, and process theories are the theories that are tackling with how. So content theories is what actually motivates you, and process theories is how it get motivates. So let's see, this is the theory diagram that I have made. So we'll be covering in content theories Maslow's need, Hesberg's two-factor theory, ALDERFER, ERG theory, and Maclellan's need theory. Okay, and in process theories we'll be covering goal setting, Vroom's, Potter, equity, and reinforcement. So in content theory deals with what aspects, what motivate others, therefore it is named as content. Process theories deals with how factors, how the motivation happens, and therefore it is named as process. So let's start with the content theory. Content theories are the what aspect of theory, what motivates individual, needs and goals of the individuals are taken into account. For need, none of these theories are conclusive, provide the framework for dealing in individuals. So this particular theory is in an individual format, is not able to explain the many complex behaviors of a human being, but it gives you a framework on how to deal it. So let's see the Maslow's theory, one of the very important theories in the motivation. So Maslow's theory talks about basically 5 levels of needs that needs to be completed. Now these 5 levels are divided into 2 or 3 different formats. First, it is a 5 level: psychological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem need, and self-actualization need. So he had divided this into the lower order needs and the higher order needs. Lower order needs are safety needs and psychological needs. Higher order needs are self-actualization, esteem, and social needs. Now he have also segregated this all into 2 different areas, that is deficiency needs and growth needs. So deficiency needs यानी कि जब वो चीज़ नहीं है हमारे पास, so there is a missing of it. So physiological needs, safety needs, social needs. When you come across this, that means deficiency है. So वो deficiency को complete करने के लिए हम motivate होते हैं. Now growth needs, that means we want more, we want to go ahead, we want to grow. So there is esteem needs and self-actualization needs. Let's see. So he says that only when you complete this particular first need, only then you can go on to the second level. When the first 2 levels are covered, then you get a social needs. So the first is physiological needs: hunger, thirst, shelter, sex, physical needs, etc. Once these needs are completed, then the person will go to the safety needs. Safety needs is safety for self, safety for the family, protection from the physical harm and the emotional harm as well. So when your physiological needs are completed, only then you will think about safety needs. When your physiological and safety needs are completed, then you will talk about the social needs. Social needs are affection, belongingness, acceptance, friendship. And when these 3 are, when the third need is covered, then it goes to the 4th need, that is esteem needs. Now internal esteem factors, that is self-respect, autonomy, and achievements. Okay. And the external esteem needs are status, recognition, and attention. And then when 4th is completed, then it goes to the 5th level, that is self-actualization needs, that is drive to realize one's own potential, self-growth, and self-fulfillment. In this theory of the satisfaction, the need works in the hierarchy format. The bottom needs are the most basic needs. They are completed on the primary basis, and the next in line is dominant. So division of 5 needs are done onto the lower order and higher order: external factor and internal factor, deficiency needs and growth needs. So lower order and higher order, Maslow's divided this needs into 2 orders. Lower orders are physiological needs and safety needs. Higher order are social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. When you talk about external factor and internal factor, he says that the lower order needs are fulfilled by external factors. Lower order needs, physiological needs, and safety needs are covered by external factors. Higher order needs are developed by the internal factors. That means social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization are internal factors. Internal factor. Deficiency needs and growth needs. Deficiency is physiological, safety, and social. Growth is esteem and self-actualization. Drawbacks of theories of Maslow's theory of motivation is that individuals do not always follow the hierarchical model. Person being on to the physiological needs directly want to get social needs, and then to self-actualization needs may also come. So he does not always go through the hierarchy model, may jump from one need to another need as per himself and the demands of the situation. Measuring need is not easy. The intensity or the calculation of needs is not possible. So that is, let's go to the next one, the Hesburgh 2-factor theory, which is also called as hygiene factor theory. Now, Hesburgh have asked people to state what they felt good when they were working in an organization and what they felt bad. So based on that survey, it was concluded that the following 2 factors are the motivators are important. So motivators and demotivators, which is also called as good feel and bad feel, or the motivators and the hygiene factor. So intrinsic factors are the good feel or motivator factors. People's perception about the job are very important. How they see to the job, sense of responsibility, job satisfaction, desire for growth, advancement included in taking decisions. Now this all are intrinsic factors. They feel good when all these things happen. So absence of this will not demotivate them, but a presence of this will motivate them. Extrinsic factors, that is also called as hygiene factors, as a feel bad factors. That means presence of this will not motivate them, but absence of this will demotivate them. That means absence of rules and regulations, absence of supervision, absence of proper infrastructure that covers everything, right from lighting to the proper utility area and etc. etc. Absence of light and working conditions. So all this absence will give them a bad feel. These are the extrinsic factors and the hygiene factors, and that will demotivate them. Drawback of this two-factor theories: reliability is difficult as due to no clear understanding of these two factors. It is inflexible in nature. Let's go to the ALDERFER ERG theory. Now this is a very good understanding. This is an extension of your Maslow's theory. Okay, so what this ALDERFER guy, what he did was he took the five Maslow's theory and divided into three. तो उसने सिर्फ उसको छोटा बना दिया. Given by Carlton ALDERFER, existence, relatedness and growth. So Maslow's theory of 5 points has been divided into three areas. First is existence, that is psychological, physiological need and safety needs. Relatedness, that is social need. Growth, self-esteem and self-actualization needs. Okay, so existence के अंदर में the existence of the combination of these two needs of the Maslow's needs: food, shelter, clothing, safety and self and family. Related needs is social need, the need of belongingness, social areas of motivation, to be a part of a community, to be a part of a family, to be a part of a friends group. Growth needs: self-esteem, self-actualization, growth in the job, achievement in the work, full utilization of self and study further. So these are growth needs. It's the extension to the Maslow's theory. They both are need levels. Level progression is common in both. Okay, let's go to the last one, that's McClelland needs theory. So it's said that there are three type of basic needs that every human being have, and according to this, the three basic needs he's been driven. First is achievement. Achievement needs are driven by the complex challenges, want to find solutions, drive by the goals and accomplishments. They are motivated, goal setting, accomplishment and clear rules. Second is power. Drive by power, want to control people around. They are motivated with leadership, team leading, training others, teaching others, etc. things. And the third one is affiliation. That means drive and sense by the belongingness. They value relationship. They are the good team players. Work best with who they know and they can trust. So this is basically what we are studying is content theory of motivations. So Maslow's पढ़े हमने जिसके अंदर 5 लेवल आया. हर्सबर्ग 2 फैक्टर पढ़े हमने जिसमें मोटिवेटर, हाइजीन फैक्टर दोनों आए. ALDERFER ERG हमने देखे जिसके अंदर आपको 3 लेवल्स जिन्होंने शॉर्ट कर दिया रिलेटेडनेस को, मैस्लोस थ्योरी को. और मैकलेलन नीड थ्योरी जिसके अंदर हमने देखे कि अचीवमेंट, पावर एंड एफिलिएशन. ERG के अंदर क्या था? एग्जिस्टेंस, रिलेटेडनेस एंड ग्रोथ. ओके, लेट्स गो टू द प्रोसेस. The process theories, that means how, addresses the limitation of the content theory, because content theory says what motivates you. This says how it's been motivated. Content theory assumes that a motivation can be explained with a couple of factors like job, atmosphere and content of job. But a process theory explains the motivation in the interaction of multiple factors. Process theories remains on the cognitive factors of motivation, that is behavior, influence, intensity and pressurization. So what we are going to study here is goal setting theory, Vroom's theory, Porter theory, equity theory and reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory का एक पार्ट ऑफ हमारे पास में चैप्टर नंबर 5 में भी है. ठीक है, तो जहाँ पे हम लोग बात करते हैं reinforcement के बारे में, मैनेजमेंट ऑफ reinforcement, but right now we are talking about chapter number 6. So let's be on the chapter number 6. Goal setting theories. Goal setting theories was given by Edwin Locke. He states that the specific goals and difficult goals lead to the higher performance. He states commitment and feedback leads to the higher performance. We have to bridge the gap between expected and delivered. He states that the high performance of an individual should have a SMART goals. Now, what is a SMART goal? Now, when we say a SMART goals are specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So these are the SMART goals. So there are 5 principles of goal setting. Just a minute, I just messed up with the alignment. Okay. There are 5 principles of goal setting: clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, task complexity. So what is the clarity? Clarity means it says that a goal should be clear. Goals should be measurable. Goals should not be unambiguous. Goals should be properly communicated to employees. So that's a clarity about the goals. Challenge. Now these are the principles of goal setting. Challenge. Goals should be somewhat difficult, should not be too easy to attain, should not be too unrealistic. Commitment. Employees should be committed to goals. Employees are not committed to the goals, then no goal setting will work. Feedback helps employee understand the goals clearly, helps in achieving these goals. Task complexity. Task complexity decides the motivation of employee. Nominal complexity keeps the employees motivated. Very complex task burdensome the employees. So he said that there should be a SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. And the goal setting should have the following principles of clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, and task complexity. Okay, so this was your goal setting theory. Very simple theory. Let's go to the Vroom's theory. Very interesting kind of a theory when I was studying. It is basically a relationship theory. It is most widely accepted, developed by the Victor Vroom. Focus on motivating, decision making, and leadership. Basic principle of Vroom's theory is the employees are motivated to put efforts when they feel that the efforts will be result in performance appraisal and rewards. Bonus, incentives, and promotions are the different examples. Theory is dependent on three relationships. The first relationship is effort and performance relationship, that is expectancy. क्या हो सकता है अगर मैं ऐसा करूँगा तो ऐसा होएगा. Performance and reward relationship, that means this performance will give me this reward. And reward and personal goal relationship, that means if this reward is I'm getting this reward, that my this personal goals are accomplished. So this is expectancy. क्या expectation है. Instrument, मैं क्या करूँगा, किस चीज़ से हमारे को expectancy पूरा होगा. And valency, that is a combination of expectancy and instrument that the results comes. Effort of performance relationship, this is related to the certain amount of effort will lead to certain amount of performance. Staying late in office and working increase in the performance level. Performance and reward relationship, instrument, this is related to the relationship thought that if they perform well, they will get some kind of reward like incentive, bonus, reward, promotion, whatever. Example, accomplishment of targets, reward or incentive and bonus. Reward and personal goal relationship refers to the perception that the reward by the organization will help in achievement of the personal goal. Employee's personal goal is to increase wealth. Reward of bonus in cash or incentive increase in wealth. So basically what happens here is individual efforts are then take them to individual performance, that they take them to the organizational rewards, and that they take them to the personal goals. So this is the steps, and these are the relationships that happens between this step. Effort, performance, अच्छा effort देंगे तो अच्छा performance होगा, अच्छा performance होगा तो organization reward मिलेगा तो personal goals cover होंगे. So that's the Vroom's theory. Vroom's theory of relationship, I can say that way. Potter's theory. Now Potter's theory is a bit complicated to understand, especially if you see to this particular diagram. I was able to feel like I'm going for electrical engineering or something like that seeing this. So let's see. Based on a principle, performance and satisfaction. So these are two basic principles of Potter's theory: performance and satisfaction. Better satisfaction, that means better performance. दोनों चीज एक दूसरे से interrelated है. If you are satisfied, you will perform. If you are able to perform, then you will get more satisfied. Developed by Lehman Potter, extension of Vroom theory. Now these are important to understand that what is extension for what. Like Maslow's theories का extension हमारे पास था ERG में. वैसे ही Lehman Potter का extension है, Vroom's का extension है Lehman Potter में. Motivate does not equate performance and satisfaction. So motivation does not always equal to performance and satisfaction. Motivation, satisfaction, performance, all are three individual terms. Theory states effort does not always lead to performance. Performance is dependent on ability and role perception. Satisfaction comes from reward, which is filled from performance, which is derived from performance. Okay. 4 assumptions, basic assumptions of this Potter's theory. First, behavior of a person is determined by the multiple factors, individual and environment based. So one's behavior is dependent upon individual and environment. Individual make conscious decision about an individual will behave in an organization setup. मैं इस setup के अंदर मैं कैसा behave करूँगा, that has been consciously decided by the individual. Different individuals have different needs and desires and goals. Not all individuals are same. Fourth, behavior of an individual will be dependent on the expectations of reward they receive for the certain behavior. This is very important point. Behavior of an individual will be dependent on expectation of rewards they receive for a certain behavior in organization. Now, if you see this diagram very closely, how it flows. So there is an effort given by the behavior. Ability and traits are being mixed, role perception are being mixed into the efforts, and the efforts are given. Okay? Performance of accomplishment. Performance are given, accomplishment happens. Then this performance and accomplishment leads to a reward. So it could be intrinsic reward or extrinsic reward. Intrinsic reward, extrinsic reward are like monetary and non-monetary purpose rewards. When you get this reward, you are satisfied. When you are satisfied, you see perceivable equitable rewards. ठीक है? Perceived equitable rewards are how you perceived. मतलब मैंने इतना काम किया हूँ तो मेरे को इतना मिलना चाहिए. So these are the perceived equitable rewards. Actual value of records. What you actually get. So when you are actually getting it, what happens is it will come back for the effort because you are motivated to give it. Okay. In the same way, this goes down performance accomplishment and perceived effort and reward probability. What you see is how much effort I gave and how much I should be getting. According to that, the efforts are again given. And from performance accomplishment, there's again perceived equitable rewards, that the value of rewards comes to this. So this is basically a circular formation of diagram. Not very important. I don't guess a lot of questions can come on this, but okay, for studying, let's cover it up. Elements of above diagram. Efforts, that means amount of energy that has been put by a person in his job. Value of reward, that is worth of reward against the effort. Perceived effort to reward probability. Perceived effort to reward probability. Perception of an individual regarding the level of effort to the level of reward. Self-understanding that this much of achievement will give me or will bring me a promotion. Performance. Efforts lead to the performance or accomplishment. Reward. Benefits received because of efforts. Intrinsic benefits, self-actualization and esteem. Extrinsic benefit, that is better working condition. Now if you remember this better working condition, हमने कौन सी theory में पढ़ा था? Herzberg theory में. Yes. Let's go to the equity theory. Very simple theory. It says मैंने इतना दिया है, मेरे को इतना चाहिए. Simple. मेरे efforts को equalize करो. So developed by the John Adams, the theory is on the principle on the balance of inputs and outputs. Inputs are the efforts given by the employees. Output are the benefits he get from the employer or organization. Relations are like if employee feels input is more than output, more work and less reward, employee is demotivated. Employee puts less amount of efforts in work. Okay. Output is more than input, less work and more rewards. Employee is motivated. Employee puts more amount of efforts into the work. So these are the list of inputs: hard work, commitment, loyalty, effort, adaptability, skill, flexibility, ability, tolerance, determination, enthusiasm, trust, personal sacrifice and trust again. Trust in superiors. Okay. List of output is salary, benefits, reputation, recognition, praise, sense of achievement, responsibility, job security. And normally people feel output कम होता है. ठीक है, चलो. Reinforcement. Okay, reinforcement theory we have studied that reinforcement theory into the chapter number 5 also. But let's once again revise this. Reinforcement theory is a process through which a certain kind of behavior is strengthened in the individual. Developed by B.F. Skinner. 4 elements of reinforcement theory: positive reinforcement, negative reinforcement, punishment reinforcement, extension reinforcement. So positive reinforcement says that positive reinforcements are the benefits that will increase the positive or the desired outcome of the behavior of an individual. This have to be the additional to the stimuli. Innovation to save ideal time by 30%, increase in salary by 35%. मैंने कुछ अच्छा किया, मेरे को अच्छा मिला. So positive reinforcement is giving something additional. Negative reinforcement. Now this is very tricky to understand. Huh? Negative reinforcement doesn't mean punishment here. Removing undesirable to increase the positive outcome of behavior. Now, before going ahead, let me tell you, if someone comes late for a day, you go them, say hi, hello, and you do not punish them. He understands it. And then from the next day, he tries to improve it. So removing an undesirable stimuli for an action that may lead to a negative outcome. Removing punishments for low performance. There's a feel-good factor for the employee, which will in turn increase the productivity of that particular person. Punishment reinforcement. Here the punishment comes. Punishment to employee who didn't produce up to the mark or have shown the negative behavior or outcome. The punishment will ensure that such actions will not be repeated again. Example, Employee displayed a negative behavior or a negative result, suspended from duty for a few days. When he will come back, he will take utmost care that it is not repeated. And then there is an extinction factor or extinction reinforcement. यानी कि निकाल दो, positive भी निकाल दो, negative भी निकाल दो. Removal of positive or negative reinforcement for the undesirable behavior. This will lessen the undesirable behavior, which will focus on desirable behavior only. That is, removal of the positive or negative action or any mistake. This will help in increase in the desirable behavior. So normally we normally don't see this extinction reinforcement or negative reinforcement, which normally we see positive reinforcement and punishment reinforcements are very common to be seen. Okay, let's go to the last part 6.9, motivation in practice. मोटिवेशन पे बात कर ली, अब एक्चुअल करना क्या है. इन एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन देयर आर मल्टीपल काइंड ऑफ theories used to keep their employee motivated. 6 major theories, that is monetary and non-monetary benefits, job enrichment, job rotation, goal setting, alternative working schedules, employee skill upgradation. So self-explanatory. Monetary and non-monetary benefit refers to a salary component which includes monetary benefits, salary, incentive, bonus, commission. Non-monetary benefits, gift vouchers and gadgets and etc. things. Monetary benefits are more desired, more valuable for an employee. Non-monetary benefits also cannot be ignored as certain needs are not fulfilled by the money. Job enrichment, making job more competitive, more interesting, more challenging, sharing responsibility with the supervisors. Make them feel internal part of organization, increase in confidence to handle situations and put extra efforts to prove self-worth and additional learning from the same. Increase in interest in activities, increase in efforts, increase in productivity, increase in goal for organizations. So job enrichment give all this extra things to you. Job rotation, different roles, different responsibilities, different time, efforts changing. So we are doing one job today. After 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, the jobs are been shifted. After 6 months, jobs are been shifted. After a year, the jobs are been shifted. So this gives an increase in interest. This gives a new learning to individual. This decreases the monotony and productivity increases. Goal setting, giving target to the employee. This is done mutually with the both together, sitting both together and then deciding the goals, goal settings. Participation in goal setting means giving target and setting targets for the same. Target oriented efforts are always more productive. Like हमारे पास 6 महीने थे पढ़ने के लिए, 6 सब्जेक्ट्स थे पढ़ने के लिए. अगर आपने प्रॉपर गोल सेटिंग किया है तो 6 महीने में 6 सब्जेक्ट्स हो जाएंगे. और अगर आप अभी शुरू कर रहे हो तो आई डोंट नो व्हाट्स गोइंग टू हैपन. अल्टरनेट वर्किंग स्केड्यूल, flexible working time, allows to choose the shift time, allows to change the working schedule, helps in work-life balance, more productive and increased in accomplishment. Now we have normally seen this alternative working schedule into a lockdown zone. Okay, employee skill upgradations, that means upgrading the skill time to time, giving learning objectives, sponsoring formal and advanced education, keeping training plans, arranging seminars, arranging all the training parts, and these are all the motivation in practice. So this is how our 6th chapter is. I don't know, I know this is something in between only. But what happened here is that I just completed this chapter. I wanted to revise it for myself. So I thought let's record it and put it up. So that's it for today, guys. Have a nice day. Happy learning. Bye-bye.